Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another Cook With Me video. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to make Big Mac bunless bacon burger bites. That is a mouthful and I got through it. So if you want to see how I make these, then stay with me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Christy and I'm planning us healthy. So if you followed me, you know that I have a Big Mac salad that I make a lot. Big Macs are a childhood favorite of mine, and the Big Mac sauce that I make with my Big Mac salad is very sentimental to me. It means a lot. It is something my grandmother taught me back when I was a young child. My grandmother, rest her soul, she's been gone now for about 23 years. But every time I make this, I just feel like I'm with her when she taught me how to make it as a child. So it's just something, it's just one of those simple things that I love making. It brings back some great memories. But I usually do it with my salad, but I remembered last year I made a recipe that was from Skinny Taste. And y'all know I love Skinny Taste recipes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take her recipe and just make a few minor adjustments. I will put the link to her recipe down in the description box below, and I will just put the modifications that I'm making. I'm not changing enough of it to put it on my website. So I'll link you to that. And then for the Big Mac sauce, I will link you to my Big Mac salad recipe on my website. And you can follow along with that. So these burger bites are gonna be 2 points. That is with the sauce. So it's basically 1 point for the sauce, 1 point for the burger bite. So let's go get these made. So for this, I am going to use a pound of ground beef. Her recipe, you will notice, calls for 2 pounds of ground beef, and that's because she has 30 burger bites that she makes. I'm just gonna be making 15. So I'm gonna be using a pound of this ground beef. I'm actually using 96% lean. She uses 90% lean. The reason I'm gonna go ahead and go with the 96% lean, sometimes that can be dry, but I'm gonna be adding bacon to it, so I think it'll be okay. So 1 pound of the ground beef. We're also gonna need 2 ounces of bacon. This is the center cut bacon. This is Oscar Mayer. I have 2 ounces of bacon that I've cut up into small pieces. We are also gonna need some Worcestershire sauce. We are going to need some garlic powder, some onion powder, some pepper, some kosher salt, and some mustard. And then for the Big Mac sauce, we're gonna make that separate. I will link the recipe to my Big Mac salad down in the description box, and that's where you can find this sauce recipe. So for the sauce, we're gonna need some light Miracle Whip. It's actually 1/4 cup of light Miracle Whip, 1/2 cup of light mayonnaise, 1 to 2 tablespoons of minced onion, 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and I'm just using regular sugar since it's only a teaspoon. The other thing that's optional that I don't actually have in the recipe is you can use either relish or some chopped up dill pickles. In this case, I've used both. I've used none. Sometimes I don't use any. Sometimes I use relish. I prefer the dill relish in this. So what I did, I don't have dill relish. Actually, this was just sweet relish and I don't want it sweet. So I chopped up some dill pickles and put that in there. So we're gonna put pickles on these. So I just cut up these baby mini pickles. These are just the Snackums Kosher Dill Minis. So what I did is kind of just cut the ends off of all of those. That's about 4 pickles. Since I'm making 15 burger bites, I wanted 15 pieces of pickle. So I just took the ends and then just diced those up. All right, so let me show you how we get this going. I'm gonna actually make these in the air fryer. So if you prefer to make them some other way, you can do them right on the stove actually. So I'm gonna take my bowl, and anybody who watches me knows that I love my red bowls. And we're gonna put that ground beef right in there. If you prefer to use gloves or a spoon, you certainly can. I am one who is in the dig my hands right in there club. We're gonna then put in the 2 ounces of bacon. We are going to put in some Worcestershire, and I just put some in there. I would guess maybe I put in about 1/4 of a cup if I were to guess. Maybe 1/8 of a cup or 1/4 of a cup. And then I'm gonna put in about 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt and pepper. I'm actually gonna use some kosher salt. And also some onion powder and garlic powder. I'm gonna use about 1/2 teaspoon of each. You could actually use regular garlic if you want it in there too. And then I want a tablespoon of yellow mustard. If you want to give this a little bit of bite, you could use some Dijon mustard or even some horseradish mustard. It just depends on how you like it. All right, then just get your hands right in there, or your gloves or your spoon or whatever you use, and just mix that right up. And the other things we're gonna need for this is some little grape tomatoes, or sometimes I've used Roma tomatoes, and also some lettuce. And then the other thing is you can use like little skewers. I actually don't have any, so I'm gonna use just some toothpicks to put mine together. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weigh out this entire thing, and I'm looking at the bottom because I have the weight of the bowl on here. So the bowl is 180 grams. So I'm gonna weigh the entire thing so we can know how much we need for each burger bite. So I have 743 grams. Okay, so 743 grams, I'm gonna subtract the weight of the bowl. That comes up to 563. I'm gonna divide that by 15, and we are going to get burger bites that are 37.5. So we're gonna do about 37. All right, so I'm just gonna take a plate and we're gonna see what 37 looks like. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through and roll up the 15 meatballs that are about 37 grams each. Wash up and get my air fryer. Okay, so what I've done is I have preheated my air fryer basket. I set my air fryer on 360 degrees. I preheated my basket, and now I've just sprayed it with some cooking spray. Some people say that you don't have to preheat an air fryer. Some people say it's better to. Honestly, I don't even know. I've just always done it, because a lot of the recipes that I find say to do it. So that's completely up to you. So there we have it. I'm gonna put them on 360 degrees for 4 minutes. I'm then gonna flip them over and do them for 3 minutes. And in the meantime, I will come back and show you how we do the sauce. Okay, I'm gonna grab my scale because I prefer to weigh out my condiments. That's up to you. I find that it's more accurate. If you're not following a weight loss program, then you could just eyeball it actually. So I'm using Miracle Whip Light, and for this I need 1/2 cup or 120 grams. The next thing I need is some light mayonnaise. I either use Hellmann's or Kraft. I actually prefer the taste of Kraft, but you can use whichever you want as long as the calories and everything is similar. For this one, I need 1/4 of a cup or 60 grams. The next thing I need is some fat-free French dressing. For this one, I need 3 tablespoons or about 52 grams. It's actually 52.5. And I'm not even sure if I have enough left in here. We're gonna find out. Oh yeah, plenty. Okay, so I went to 53, that's fine. Then I'm gonna put in my teaspoon of sugar, my 1 to 2 tablespoons of diced onions, or actually minced, however you want them. I'm gonna add pickles. Like I said, that's completely optional. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vinegar. And then just some salt and pepper. And mix that up. And then just taste it, you know, make sure that it has enough salt or pepper to your liking. At this point, it becomes about personal choice and your palate. All right, so let me move these aside and show you what we do next. So my timer says it's been 4 minutes, so I'm gonna flip the burger bites. So 4 minutes, and that is what they look like. So I'm just gonna go through and flip them all over. Okay, those are going back in for 3 minutes. So I meant to weigh out my bowl because I want to see how much is in this so I know how much I can have on each one. And I forgot to weigh out my bowl first. So I'm just gonna transfer this to another bowl just so I can see how much is in here. Okay, so we've got about 283 grams. So I'm gonna take 283 divided by 15 and it's gonna be almost between 18 and 19 grams. So let me just see how much that is going to be. Okay, so that is 19 grams. So that is for one. So that's gonna be plenty. So the points on this are actually, it's 2 points per burger bite, but that is with the sauce. So it's 1 point for this amount of sauce and then 1 point for the burger bite. If you choose to add cheese, then you'll have to add points for the cheese. So if I'm gonna have 2 burger bites, then I'm gonna measure out another 19 grams of this, which more than likely I'm gonna have 2 or 3 burger bites. I'm actually probably gonna have 3. So for the 3 burger bites, then I will measure out enough for the 3 portions. And that is going to be plenty for those 3. I don't even think we're gonna need that much. Okay, so for 3, we're talking that much sauce. So that's quite a bit of sauce. I don't think I'm gonna use all that. Okay, so now what I wanna do is just start assembling these. So I'm actually gonna put the burger on one end. So now I'm gonna take, I'm just using this Boston lettuce, and I have some grape tomatoes. So I've just washed my lettuce and the tomatoes. So I'm gonna put lettuce, tomato, and pickle on each one of these. And I think the pickle, I'll put the burger on top of the pickle. So just do it like this. And again, this is optional, what you put on yours. And actually, you know what? I think that I'm gonna put the burger next to the lettuce. So how you assemble it is completely up to you. All right, so I have my burger bites. So just dry the burger bites off. I keep wanting to call them meatballs because they look so much like meatballs. All right, so then skewers would actually work a lot better as they would be bigger, but like I said, I don't have any. So that is one. So I'm gonna put my tray together. So mine is going to be 6 points, and that's gonna be with my sauce. And that's it, as simple as that. And like I said, if you wanna put some cheese, a little piece of cheese on there, you can do that. So that is 2 points for each one, including the sauce. So this whole plate here is 6 points. So I am gonna add a piece of cheese. So I'm just gonna split this up between the 3 pieces, and it's gonna add an extra point for me. Now if you wanted, you could melt it first. I'm just gonna stick it underneath my burger. So there we go. And that will add 1 extra point. So mine will be 7 points. So depending what cheese you use, I like Velveeta. It is one of my processed food downfalls. So there we go. And we are gonna try one of these. So now we're just gonna dip it into the sauce. So good. And I can tell you right now, we have way too much sauce. So like I said, it's 1 point for each serving of the sauce. So whatever you don't use, you can deduct from from your points. All right, that's what it looks like if you melt the cheese on there. I think you can see it. My camera wants to focus on everything else. So however you choose to do it, that looks good too. All right, and that is what they look like up close. You can see the bacon in there. So like I said, 2 points each for the sauce and the burger bites, and then plus your cheese, whatever you add for your cheese. So I have 7 points sitting here. But like I said, I think I'm probably gonna end up taking off a point, maybe even 2 for the sauce. I think the 19 grams is gonna be plenty for all 3. So I actually have about 56 grams there. Okay, so I hope you like those. I do wanna say that was a lot of sauce for what I thought it was gonna be. I didn't realize that the sauce would go a long way like it did. So definitely you'll have to play around with that. If you you might wanna make it with a bun and slap some of that sauce on there. Just keep in mind that, you gotta weigh the whole thing out and figure out the exact points. If you do it exactly how I did it, then it's about 19 grams per serving, which would be 1 point for the sauce. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, put any comments down below, and if you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and also click the notification bell, because that is what notifies you anytime I upload new content. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. I'm Christy, and I'm planning us healthy.